Hi, sixth graders. This is an overview for your social studies course this year, History and Geography. My name is Mrs. Houle. The way you can remember it is that it rhymes with pool. And of course, I will be your history teacher this year. I also teach middle school English and high school French at Icon. So if you are taking a sixth or seventh grade English language arts course at Icon, you will also have me as a teacher, and your course overview will sound very familiar, although you will have different questions to answer at the end, so please bear with me. Um, The first thing I'd like you to know is that I'd like you to please contact me if you have any questions or concerns about this course. So here is my schedule and contact information, and feel free to print that out and put it in a handy place. My office hours in general are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mountain Time. So keep that in mind if you live in North Idaho and are in the Pacific time zone. I do have a live office for help or questions that you can pop into on Mondays and Wednesdays from 1 to 2 p.m. Mountain Time. And it is online. Um, and there is a link to enter right there. And also, if you go to the Icon School Calendar, there is a link on Mondays and Wednesdays at the appropriate time that you can click to come into my live office. I will be there and I will talk to you over my microphone, and you can either click on your microphone to talk to me, or you can type in the text box down below whatever your question is or what you need for help, and I'd be happy to assist you. My email address is there, and also my two phone numbers. The first one is my cell phone. Um, and the second is my home phone. Sometimes I work at home, and my cell phone doesn't work where I live at home. So that's why I say try both numbers, please. And if you do call and I don't answer, it's because I'm helping someone else at the moment. And just leave a message and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So, what is it about? History and Geography 600 focuses on world history with an emphasis on Western Europe. Specifically, it covers world history from ancient civilizations through the end of the 20th century, highlighting the Middle Ages and the two world wars. Additionally, students will gain practice in report writing, covering topics like North American geography, the influence of the Renaissance, and the Industrial Revolution. So, your unit overviews. At the beginning of each unit, you will find an overview, or what you will learn. Also included are study guides for each quiz and test in the unit. And some units have important links for readings or resources you'll need. You will need to answer 2 questions to get credit for completing each unit overview. So, in other words, I'll ask you a couple questions about whether you can access the study guides through the links, and I will also ask you what this unit is about. Um, Live class assignments. Excuse me. To help you with the more difficult assignments and projects, I have scheduled a live class assignment throughout the units. As the time gets closer for each live class assignment, I will insert a link for you to either attend a live class session or to watch a recording of it and call me for credit. I will also email you at the beginning of each week when the live classes will be held. You will be required to complete one of these options for credit for the assignment. You won't be able to do these assignments in advance, of course, because they're live. So, in other words, you can either come to the live class at the scheduled time, or afterwards, I put the recording of it into the assignment. So if you weren't able to come, then you'll still be able to watch it, but obviously it won't be available until after the actual live class. Also with live class assignments, you may notice that they don't coincide exactly with your due dates. That would be because I schedule live class assignments when most of the kids in the course are at the point that they need to complete that. Sometimes kids are working at a different pace, or they may have started the semester at a different point. So that's why it would be a different date than you would need it. So by the time you get to it, we may have already held it, but that is why the video link is there for you. Okay, a little about the grading policy and weights for this course. If you're concerned about any assignments, your grade, or your progress, please contact me as soon as possible. I expect you to read and study the lessons and complete all lessons, projects, quizzes, and tests in the order that they are due. So, something new for the 2015-16 school year. It is the school-wide policy of ICON to reassign blank essay answers within lessons, quizzes, and tests. Students submitting blank essays will have these questions reassigned, and repeated blank essays will result in assignments being locked and may result in parent-teacher conferences to resolve the issue. So in other words, you may not turn in anything blank. You need to at least make an attempt to answer things. If you don't know on a quiz or test, at least try, okay? Because if it is blank, an essay or a short answer, I'll have to reassign it. That's just the policy of ICON. Okay, let's talk a little bit about plagiarism. Excuse me. Plagiarism is essentially copying someone else's work and making it your own. You will need to write any researched material in your own words. You must include citations anytime you research or look up information. It says see citation information below. We'll talk about how to do that more in depth in a minute. So, using a quote in your answer is not plagiarism if you use quotation marks, you keep it to 1 or 2 lines of text, and if you tell where the quote came from. If an assignment is plagiarized, it will be a 0, except for the first offense, and you will have to redo it in that case. Parents will also be contacted and possibly ICON administration depending on the situation. Okay? These days it's very easy to tell if someone plagiarized because Google is perfect for us plugging in text and seeing if it was plagiarized. So my advice is just write everything in your own words, cite your sources. Extra credit is available if you have no zeros and you would like to improve your grade. Please contact me if you would like to consider extra credit. Now for the weighting of your grade. Lessons are 25% of your unit grade. You have 3 attempts to reach a score of at least 75%. Projects are also 25% of your unit grade. A blank project will be reassigned as a blank essay. It says see info above, which means a blank project turned in won't be tolerated. I'll just have to reassign. Quizzes are also 25% of your unit grade. You have 1 opportunity to complete quizzes and tests, so make sure you are prepared before you open them. Tests also 25% of your unit grade, and you have 1 opportunity, and make sure you're prepared. Now the difference between quizzes and tests is that there are more quizzes per unit. There is only 1 unit test per unit. So that unit test grade makes up 25%, 1/4 of your unit grade. So let's talk a little bit about reassigning quizzes and tests. Alternate versions of quizzes and tests will be reassigned if a student wishes to redo them for a better grade. This will be done at my discretion and most likely at the end of a unit. So if you would like a better grade on a quiz or a test, it'll be up to me. If you ask to redo, you won't be able to redo the exact same quiz or test. It will be an alternate version. Same subject matter, but different questions. And there are no study guides for the alternate quizzes and tests, just an FYI. At my discretion means if you at least made somewhat of attempt on the first quiz or test, because I can tell by clicking on your quiz or test how much time you actually spent doing on it. So if I see you spent 5 minutes or less clicking through questions, I'll know that you didn't try, and I will be less inclined to want to reassign for you. Okay, study guides. We talked a little bit about where the study guides are located in your unit overviews, but this is new for the 2015-16 school year. Study guides will be actual lessons to be turned in before working on each quiz or test. An incomplete study guide will be treated as a blank essay. So in other words, if you turn it in blank or incomplete, I'll have to reassign, just as we talked about above. Now, the actual study guides are going to be located in your unit overviews. You'll click on the link and it will take you to the study guide for that unit, and you can download it to your computer or print it out to be filled out while you work through the unit. Answer those questions. Just before every quiz or test, there will be an assignment in which you can submit your completed study guide. Okay, if you have any questions about that, as you get to them, let me know and I'll walk you through it. So, projects, which are charts, reports, and essays. Most of your projects must be completed as a document, which you will save and attach to your project assignments in order to submit. So that means sometimes in cyber world, projects or essays are lost in transmission. In other words, sometimes you turn them in or think you turn them in and they don't come through to me. So my best advice is for you to write them in a document, save them to your computer, and then either copy and paste them into your assignment or attach them to your assignment to send to me. That way, if it gets lost or doesn't come through, you don't have to completely redo. I can reassign it and you can just reattach it or send it to me another way. Okay, so your projects will be graded with equal weight given to your content, your organization, and your conventions, which are spelling, grammar, and punctuation. Pay attention to the instructions in the project for length, organization, and content of your projects and project essays and reports. If you have any questions on how to complete a project, please contact me right away. Now we're going to talk about citing your resources, and this is how to avoid plagiarism. Many projects will require that you research information from a book, newspaper, or website. Every time you use information that someone else has written, you must cite your sources to give the author credit. Please follow a citation style that includes at least these details. For a book, magazine, or article, you need to have in this order the author's last name, then first name, the title of the book or article, underlined or italicized, and the publication date of the article or book. So here's an example book citation. Taylor, her last name, Sally Adamson, her first two names, period. Culture Shock is the name of her book, underlined. Publication date 1990. Okay, here's how to cite a website, a little bit more complicated. So you need the author's last name and first name, if there is one. A lot of times we look on websites and just want to say, oh, I found it at this website. But many times there's an actual author listed that wrote that article. You need to have their last name, first name of the book or article that you found online, if there is one. Sometimes there's not the book or article name, but there is the author's last name and first name. Then you need the date of publication, date you access the information, and the URL address taken from the address bar. Here's an example. A website citation. So, Netting, Ruth, last name, first name. Tropical Twisters is the article she wrote. This time I italicized it. And it was from NASA, published on the 22nd of January 2003. Web indicates that you found this on a website. 30 August 2012 is the date that you accessed the information. Then here is the URL. Okay, in other words, you go to a website, and this is what is in that bar after you go to the website. You copy and paste it here. Okay, the whole URL is required. You may not do this, www.nasa.gov. Okay, that's just the World Wide Web address. We need the entire URL here to be a correct website citation. So if you decide to just do a website citation like this, nasa.gov, I'm going to reassign it and say, look back in the in the course overview and see how to properly cite a website. Or look back in the unit overview and see how to properly cite a book or article. Okay, this is very important, and you will need to do it this entire year. So have a great semester. If you have anything you need, please don't hesitate to contact me. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to answer your questions at the end of this assignment for credit, and have a great year. Bye.